Well, this is April 2015, the first week of our April challenge, and I want to welcome Team Galloway tonight. And so far we have 4 people, and we may have a few show up. And so first I want to wish each of you a blessed Easter tomorrow, and thanks for taking your time on a Saturday night to pop in and share with the team and encourage one another. I'd like you to introduce yourself, mention your name and the city you're from, and then tell me what you're most excited about accomplishing during this April Healthy Games. I'll start so you guys have a moment, okay? I'm Pamela Galloway. I live in Quitman, Texas. And I am most excited about pushing through 166. You know, I have not pushed through there in a long time. I've been kind of, you know, so I'm looking forward to pushing through that barrier. Who's next?
I'll go next. Oh, Kim, you can go.
Either way. I'm Kim. I live in California, Maryland. And I don't know, what am I most excited about? I am trying to get myself actually back on track sleeping wise. I have developed horrible sleeping patterns, and I have 2 cats that wake me up in the middle of the night because they're hungry and all that other stuff. So between the 2 things, I'm tired all the time. And then when I'm tired, I eat. And so my plan is that's kind of my goal. This one is to get my sleep back on track, and so I can start making better choices.
Great. Okay.
I'll go next, and I'm going to have to leave because my computer, I'm going to have my husband look at it. It's playing something in the background that you might actually be able to hear right now, and I have no clue what it is.
Okay. Well, after you share a little bit, I'm going to mute you, or I'll ask you to mute yourself.
Okay.
Yeah. But go ahead and share, introduce yourself, and tell us what you're excited about in April.
Okay, this is Christina Waddles. I'm Christina Waddles. And let's see, I am most excited about getting back on track, like Kim said, and really putting myself first and putting my health first. What else was I supposed to share?
Where you live? What town?
I'm in San Diego, California.
Okay. Thank you. Way to go. Okay, Ann.
Well, I'm Ann Crawford. I live in Quitman, Texas. I don't live very far from the coach, from Pamela.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, she sometimes stops by on her way home. She passes right by my house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my goal is to be healthier and stronger. And I'd like to wear some of the clothes in my closet that I've been hanging on to.
Or can we relate to that, girls? There's some clothes in our closet that we would like to be able to fit into again. Okay, cool, cool. Well, you know, it's only 90 days till summer, so that's like April, May, June, you know. And so, you know, you may have a goal this month, a different goal next month. And, you know, today or yesterday, Dr. A posted a very interesting question on the main wall. And I thought it was kind of intriguing because he said, what would be your goal if you were guaranteed success and that you could not fail? What would be your goal if you could not fail? I thought, whoa, that puts it in a whole new realm because, I mean, frankly, a lot of us have stopped dreaming. You know, we get so involved in our workaday world or our current life situation, we often just don't think about dreaming. So, okay. Do you have?
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Thanks for popping in. Okay, I guess she was having a problem with her computer, technical difficulties. So, would
I
you,
can identify with that.
oh, technical challenges? Yeah.
On the
Okay.
computer.
Well, but you're doing well.
I know just enough about the computer to get in trouble.
Well, no, I'm impressed, Ann, that you're taking the time to learn a new skill into your into your enthusiastic 80s. Hey,
Sorry.
here's Linda Lamb. Yay, Linda! We're glad to see you. Can you hear us, Linda? Linda just got out of the hospital. She had a visit to the hospital last weekend. So we are glad to see you home in your own place.
Thank you.
Oh, there she is. Okay, let's see. Linda, we had just introduced ourselves. How about you share the person that you don't know yet is Kim Rice, and how about if you let her know your name, where you live, and what you're most excited about accomplishing in April.
Well, I guess first, my name is Linda Lamb, and I'm from Winsboro, right here in Texas, and I'm most excited about just a measure of success.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then when you say a measure of success, you mean some progress. How would you personally measure that?
Well, I spend so much time yo-yoing that just to every little step forward is success.
Okay. So kind of like any step in uncharted territory is success.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Because
Well,
I already know I have to take everything in baby steps.
okay. And that's okay. Because, sometimes small goals are easier to conquer. And when you're talking about a measure of success, before you got on, I mentioned that something that I'm most excited about is pressing through a barrier of 166. I haven't been under 166 pounds in over 15 years. So, I've been, to be honest with you guys, I've been yo-yoing in January through now, and I haven't gotten below 166, so, okay. And then a moment ago, and before you got on, Linda, I was just introducing that Dr. A had posted a very interesting thought in his coach box on the main wall, and he said, what would be your goal if you were guaranteed success and that you would not fail? What would be your goal? And we were talking about how a lot of us have kind of stopped dreaming. Now, had anybody shared that yet, or I had just mentioned it? Okay.
Well, I saw that this afternoon, and I've actually given it thought all day, and I haven't come to any conclusion yet.
Okay. Well, it's a good thought to ponder because, and you could have intermediate goals, but, more than one of us have talked about yo-yoing. I think that's probably in the back of our mind might be a little fear that what if I lose 20, 30, 40 pounds and then yo-yo? That might be something that we're dealing with kind of in the back of our mind. Because I've been a yo-yoer for 35 years until 3 years ago. I have maintained 60 pounds off. I just haven't pressed through 166 yet, But anyway, so I think it's intriguing to think about what would be your goal if you were guaranteed you could hit it. So, Anne, have you given that some thought?
No, not really.
Okay.
There's too many things.
Okay. Well, Linda, what were some of the things that you were pondering since you did think on that today?
Well, for me, reaching below the 350 mark.
Okay.
Because I know the last time I was there has been about 15 years also.
Okay. And see, this doesn't have to be weight related or scale related. This goal might be getting excellent sleep, or living a life in balance with being able to deal with stress that used to trigger us, to eat. So it's not necessarily a something on the scale. And Anne had mentioned she's hoping this month to lose some weight that might improve her sleep apnea. So Kim, have you given it some thought? If you were guaranteed success, what would be your goal? If you were convinced that you could not fail, or you just couldn't fail, not just convinced, you knew you couldn't fail.
Well, I have two things that I've been working on now, both of them for at least 10 years. So, and one of them's weight loss. I mean, it consumes me to a large extent. I'm not losing weight at all. And, I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Lots of old habits and lots of, just stuff to plug through and that kind of stuff. The other one is to get rid of my credit card debt that I incurred. Most of it about half of it I incurred 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the other half I incurred moving here. So, I have a plan for that. I'm, God willing, I will blow through that in about 3.5 or 4 years.
Good for you. That's great, because no doubt you have a plan to attack one, and then when that one's cleared out, it snowballs into getting another one out of the way.
Actually, I was doing that. I was doing the whole Dave Ramsey snowball thing, and I ran 2 of my credit reports just in the last couple weeks. And because I have one credit card that has a huge balance on it and a significantly lower rate overall on it.
Right.
And so I used that one exclusively for my move here, and I essentially maxed it out.
Yeah.
And I've been paying the minimum on that and trying to snowball on the smaller ones, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's happening is because that one's maxed out, it looks bad. It's affecting my credit score negatively. And so it's caused me to revise my plan. And part of it is to get that one down below 90% first, then to go back to the oldest debt, because that's the other one, is the length of time that some of the debt's been there. So trying to snowball to an extent, but at the same time playing with some numbers, you know what I mean, to get percentages in the right directions and that kind of stuff. So it's been kind of interesting. And
that is interesting. And you know what? I can apply that to our challenge. Sometimes we need to maybe shift our thinking or shift our
focus.
Strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without a doubt, because that snowball is all I think. That's I for the most part as an adult, I live on cash. But there have been periods of my life where I've gotten in debt. Mm-hmm. This one happened when I was unemployed. And then when I finally did get a job, it wasn't enough to pay off my debt. It was just enough to make it. And it's only been in the last couple of years that I've gotten to a point where I can start working on the debt. Mm-hmm. And then I moved here and I added to it. So it's, it's just that kind of stuff. But yeah, it was interesting because I had to rethink it. I'm still applying that snowball, like I said, but I have some intermediate goals on that I want to accomplish to see if I can better my credit score,
Yay. I mean, and see, that's a huge stressor to have that, to have debt like that. Yeah. And, as you are paying that down, hopefully that's going to lessen the stress you're feeling, as a single woman,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And let's see. I lost my train of thought.
You were talking about if you could make any goal, knowing you could make it,
Yeah. Well, you were talking about weight you'd struggled with for about 10 years.
I've struggled with my weight for 20 years now. I was skinny up until 20 years ago. And so, but for the last 10 years, I've been trying to tackle it and my debt. And for a while, it felt like neither one was ever going to get accomplished. Now the debt thing I'm kind of working on, mm-hmm. I don't know how I'll,
Yeah.
I don't know. So, but I hit a new all-time high recently, and I hit a new all-time high by 5 pounds. So that was kind of demoralizing. And,
and even though it might have felt demoralizing, sometimes that kind of has a shock value. And that happened to me when I lived in Chicago 15, 20 years ago. And I thought, oh my goodness, I now weigh more than when I was fully pregnant giving birth.
Oh, I passed out a long time ago.
So anyway, it just kind of shocked me into doing something. And that's when I first started teaching first place. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have a dose of reality hit you, whether it's getting blood work back or you hitting a you know, a situation like you just mentioned.
Yeah.
Let's see. Well, and since that train of thought left the station, this coach is going to move along. Let's see. Let's see. Now, Linda, you didn't really specify. You said you'd thought about a couple of things, right?
Well, when you mentioned better sleep, I don't have any problem with sleep if my bladder would just cooperate.
Okay.
But my bladder wakes me up every 2 hours.
Oh my. Okay. That is frustrating. Okay. Let's see. Now, I wanted, you know, we've just been 1 week into, oh, I know, before I segue into what we've accomplished in 1 week, I want to tell Kim something that Dr. A or someone wrote on the on one of the daily readings the last week of March. They told us about the acronym BLAST, B-L-A-S-T. Don't let yourself get too bored, too lonely, too angry, too stressed, or too tired.
Okay.
And see, I used to have an acronym called HALT. Don't let yourself get too hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. But anyway, I thought
They added bored to it. Yeah.
bored.
What's the S?
Bored is my worst one.
And see, and the two of, and I think Kim has mentioned that, but also Kay McIntyre has mentioned that. So, you know, evidently that's a trigger for a number of people to
It's
kind of
probably my
grade.
primary trigger.
Okay.
More than anything. I don't stress eat a lot. I don't have a lot of stuff that brings up a lot of strong emotions anymore. I mean, my son is essentially grown up. You know what I mean? So I'm not dealing with that day-to-day parenting thing that was stressful. But yeah, I get bored. Oh my goodness, I get bored.
Okay. Well, the next thing I wanted to talk about is, first of all, it's week 1. I have not weighed myself yet. It's going to be tomorrow. And I don't know if anybody wants to share their progress this week yet. I mean, if you want to, fine, or give us a non-scale victory. And like a non-scale victory would be, the other day I took my vacuum cleaner apart 4 times after I had loaned it to somebody who, you know, messed up the belt and clogged up 2 different areas of it. And it still will not draw up into that tornado canister deal. And I'm like, ugh. And Josh was here helping me unscrew, screw, and all that. And I mean, my first thought was, break out the Bluebell, you know?
And then I would have been like, go buy a new one. It's easier.
Let me show you, we got Bluebell Butter Crunch. This is like Butterfingers, you know, in vanilla.
Howdy, girl.
And we got chocolate decadence. So I mean, you know, and it's just right here where I can reach it. But I thought, you know what? I am frustrated, but you know, I think what I did, I had a shake or something else. You know, I just decided to do something else. So for me, that was a little non-scale victory. So did anybody have a non-scale victory this week?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
I've been making a conscious effort to go to bed earlier, which offsets the cats to some extent, so that helps me. Still not getting quite enough sleep.
Okay.
But today I have spent all day, for the most part, I mean, it's not been continuous, but it's been all day, like spring cleaning, for lack of a better word. But, you know,
Well,
cleaning the mini blinds, cleaning the baseboards, cleaning the, you know.
hey, you're killing
washing
some
the
calories.
Yeah, and
You're killing some calories.
get some of the dust and the fur. You know, I vacuum all the time, and I dust like the tables and, you know, that kind of stuff. But it gets in the mini blinds. You know, the baseboards are all dusty. It's like, oh, so yeah, it just feels better. Like I walk in my bathroom and I know the blinds are clean and the tiles clean, and you know.
Okay, I'm getting a 10-minute warning.
Yep.
This is free for all of us. and then for 40 minutes. Sometimes we get on a second time. I'm not going to get on a second time tonight. It's Easter weekend. But I just wanted all of you to know what that was, that little thing that popped up. The next thing I wanted to talk about, Anne, I know your goal is to lose about 10 pounds. Isn't that part of your goal?
10 or 15.
10 or 15. Okay. I read on the main wall last month where someone, when they go gross, and they were talking about how they had lost 15 pounds, or let's say they lost 30. But for this illustration, let's say this person lost 15 pounds. When she goes to the grocery store, she picks up 3 5-pound bags of potatoes, puts them in her cart, and she, and she imagines, wow, I would have had been carrying this every day, everywhere I go, in the car, out of the car. You know what I mean? These 3 5-pound bags of potatoes, and how inconvenient that is. So it was her way of celebrating. And then at the end of her shopping, she'd go back to the produce and put those potatoes back on the produce.
If only it was that easy.
Yes. And so, it was easy, but it was a neat illustration because, I'm thinking of Melissa Hartley. She's been in this January, February, the 6-weeker. Then she did the March, and now she's doing the April, and she is just eating very carefully, fixing herself some healthy snacks and snack pack bags, packing her lunch. She's just being very, 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 very organized. She is. When we started April 1st, she had lost 28 pounds. So I really think by now, after a week, she's lost 2. So think in terms of her, if she went to the produce aisle and got 3 10-pound bags of potatoes and was carrying them as she's walking through her whole, like, let's say her husband's pushing the cart. She is carrying 3 10-pound bags of potatoes as they're selecting their whole thing. And then after 30 minutes of shopping, she puts it away. So can you imagine how dramatic that is? So I thought that was a really good word picture, or, graphic picture of what it can be like. Yeah. But anyway, that's my 2 cents for today. There's something I was going to post. I'm not sure. Okay. This is the last thing, and I'm actually going to post this for the group. I didn't want to post it until we had this meeting because I didn't want the information about, the link for the Zoom and all that to go away in case someone tried to find it. Anyway, one of the suggested questions was, which is harder for you, eating healthy or getting in your exercise or activity? Which is tougher for you?
Boy, she's busy.
I'll go.
Both right now.
Both right now? And they're about equal in difficulty?
Mine's not eating healthy. I like eating healthy. It's the portions. And,
okay.
And the late nights garbage.
The late night grazing? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've been there, done that. Can you tell Pammy's been there and she's done that? Listen, ladies, I'm in on this journey with you. I have not arrived. I'm still struggling. I'm a co-struggler. But let's see. For me, it's either fitting in the activity or finding time to do it. My day gets busy, and I'm like, oh, man, I hadn't done my walk. And then for a while, I was walking at 8 or 9 o'clock at night. But when you do it that late, it kind of revs you up. So I need to get it in earlier. So for me, this time around, I know how to eat right. I have things in my home. It's getting in, a good 30-minute brisk walk in, say, 4 or 5 days a week has been a challenge for me. So how about Linda? What would you say is the item that's, the most difficult?
It would be the exercise, because just walking, period, it's painful on my knees, so I have to force myself.
Okay. Okay. So the actual, exercise. So what about you, Ann? Which is more difficult for you to manage? Eating healthy, eating frequently enough, or versus exercise?
Well, I guess it's pretty much, now that I've gotten adjusted to drinking so much water, it's just about this. I started walking 15 minutes after each meal. I mean, wait about 20 minutes and then walk 15 or 20 minutes after each meal.
Good girl.
That worked better for me.
Uh-huh. And I can imagine that's probably an excellent strategy, because think of it. We eat something and then we go out and crank up our activity level, and thus I would think that would crank up our metabolism somewhat. You know what I mean? And maybe make burning those calories more effective.
And I started when I walk for a while and then run for a few seconds.
Really?
Then start walking again.
Wow. Good for you. In other words, you're doing intervals. Woo!
But I'm not going to wait until next Wednesday.
That's fine. And go ahead.
One of my problems is there's so much sodium in just about everything you buy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that what is it, canned stuff?
Oh yeah, canned tomatoes. Woo! Well,
the soup that I've been eating it's got a little bit more sodium than I'd like.
yes. Okay. Well, speaking of weighing in, I want to encourage you guys to weigh perhaps just every 7 days, or if you absolutely have to take a peek, maybe look at day 4 and day 7. Because I know some people in my group, Ruth Lampion, I mean, she even put it on the wall how she decided to, let's see, did you say she moved her scale so she wouldn't weigh every day? I'm like, I didn't know she was weighing every day. No, multiple times a day.
Well, she said
Oh, no.
What, she did what?
That she told me she took it out of the bathroom.
That's what okay, so she moved it out of the bathroom so she wouldn't weigh multiple times a day. I mean, you can imagine, I guess, if you go to the bathroom, you go, hey, how'd I do? and then you go to the bathroom again. So I thought, oh, my goodness. I mean, that can discourage you if you weigh daily and even multiple times. So
weekly, do we have to photograph our weight?
Yeah. You do not need to photograph it. I'll show you there's a way to click on something and type it in. And it's so cool because it'll say, and you have 21 days to lose 6 pounds. There's like a little tab. And it's really cool. So does anybody have any parting thoughts? We only have about 1:30 seconds. And what about you, Linda? Do you have a parting thought?
No.
Bless her heart, Kim is in the Eastern time zone, and this is an hour later for her. So
that's okay.
Looking like she's
I'm tired. No, I'm tired because I've been cleaning all day.
Well, I mean, she's tired because she's been killing calories cleaning all day, but also she has a time zone issue, and I want to thank you, Kim, for your willingness to meet at 8 o'clock. That means people in San Diego see us at 6 o'clock. But anyway, blessings to each of you for a wonderful Easter celebration with your family, with your church family. And I just want to wish you every success this week. So take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.